All right, guys, you can see what we're talking about today. And I know a lot of you have been waiting for this since I announced it on a previous video. These are all done. I'll be covering the factory edge, first sharpening, then the regular testing, the third and fourth edge sharpening. I also did hardness on both of these, so we'll talk about that also. Gonna do both knives in one video. And as you guys can see, Magnacut on the flipper. And M390 on the non-flipper. Both steels. These are both said to be run at 62 Rockwell from Koenig. Like I said, I'll cover that later on in the video. So instead of wasting time, go ahead and get that cutting out of the way and come back and talk about all the stuff I want to talk about these two knives. All right, now that we saw that cutting, I think I'm going to do this one a little different. I'm going to cover all the results for the Magnacut, then the M390, then I'll talk about how they sharpened and what the hardness on each of these was. So 1500 grit finish on both of them for every test that I sharpened on. 15 degrees per side. Strop the same way as always. On the factory edge for Magnacut, 164 feet. Went ahead and sharpened it the first time. And both of these were really close to 15 degrees per side from the factory. They're both so close, I just went ahead and left them alone for all the testing. When I say pretty close, 15.1 degrees, and this one was 15 and 15.1, something like that. They were so close, no reason for me to change them. On the first sharpening for Magnacut, we went from 164 feet to 189 feet. So wasn't looking promising at that point. So then I sharpened it the second time, cut the edge off, sharpened it a third time, and went on to the regular testing. On the third sharpened edge, 200 feet fine edge, 115 feet working edge for a total of 315 feet. So just 2 edges in on this Magnacut. If there is more fatigue, I highly doubt it. Got rid of that fatigue, and the fine edge alone did better than the entire first sharpening's worth of cutting in that 1-inch section. So sharpened it the 4th time, ran the test again, 197 feet fine edge, 117 feet working edge, for a total of 314 feet. Not bad. Falling in with a lot of the other Magnacut that I've tested that is in the 62 to 63 range. And then we come to the M390 non-flipper. As you can see, it's ground a bit thinner than the Magnacut is. And on the M390, as delivered, 133 feet total cut in a 1-inch section. Sharpened it the first time, 1500 grit. And on that test, 223 feet total cutting. So a lot bigger gain on the M390 over the Magnacut. So then I sharpened it the second time, cut the edge off, sharpened it the third time, and got to the regular testing. On the third sharpened edge on the M390, 195 feet fine edge, 194 feet working edge, for a total of 389 feet. Sharpened it the 4th time, ran the verification test, and on that test, 196 feet fine edge, 197 feet working edge, for a total of 393 feet. Absolutely fantastic for M390. It joins one of, I believe I'm still well under 10 of M390 knives that have gotten close to 400 feet. I know if I back up and say M390 knives that did over 300 feet, I still don't believe there have been 10 out of the 70 or so, 80 M390 different knives that I've tested over the past 3.5, 4 years now. Really good. I know Nick's really happy with how this M390 did. So how did both of these sharpen now? M390 felt absolutely fantastic on the stones. No problem sharpening it and no problem deburring it. The burr came off almost immediately on the strop. Couldn't be happier with how this felt, how it came up, pretty much everything about it. It's a well done M390. The Magnacut here, I can't convey to you guys what certain steels feel like in sharpening, but being the 6th Magnacut that I've had, this feels a whole lot like the Spyderco Mule did, and a couple of the other Magnacut blades that I've tested so far. The standouts would be the BGM fixed blade that I have, and the 2 that I did from Tom that he got from Transparent Knives. Those all sharpened quite a bit different than the other Magnacut I've tested so far. Now, I am curious. I do have one production and two more custom Magnacut to test. One of them I know falls right in the range of most of the Magnacut I've tested so far, like smack in the middle. And I have to go back and look. I'm not sure where the other one falls, and the production knife is a Hogue Deca in Magnacut, so I'm really curious as to how they did that one. Now, what was the hardness on these? The Magnacut here, keep in mind both of these are advertised, or he says they're both run at 62 Rockwell. This, and with the internal stop pin and everything like that, even with a pedestal, once you get in here and see where the detent hole, the detent track, some of the different things are inside here, I couldn't do a 5 test average on these. So I only got to do a 2 test average on both of these knives. The Magnacut here is a bit of an overachiever, I guess. It tested at 63 RC. And the M390 here, this as well, this tested a 2 test average of 62.2. So, no complaints about what the hardness is. Hit the goal on this one, overshot it on this one a little. I doubt anybody would be upset about getting a little bit more wear resistance out of it, especially for what these cost. Either way, though, nothing I can say bad about either one of these and the way that they actually did. Something that has nothing to do with the testing is the non-flipper with the milling here. Feels like a totally different knife than this smooth titanium flipper. I know they're the same knife, just minus a flipper tab and milling, but this one feels so much better. So much better during testing. Just better all around. That's all I have for these. If you guys have one, love to hear how they've been for you. Whether you have an M390 or a Magnacut, both of these are Gen 4s marked inside when I took them apart. Don't know if that makes a difference on what the heat treat was in the past or not. These are Gen 4s. This is how they did. I'm not upset with either of the results. I think they did perfectly good for what they're advertised to be. That's all I have for this one. As always, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.